Our next guest is quite the talent. He spent his time during the pandemic painting 300 pictures.
For the fall, the creative benefits were immediate. Like Picasso, testament to him, he changed his style several times in 90 years. And I'd been painting for 2 weeks and I'd already moved into cubism. Like, it just was so quick. And he wasted 10 years in this period. By Thursday, I'd already entered a blue period.
All right, well, that's a glimpse at the performance art show, 300 paintings, which played out to sold-out crowds in Europe and now in New York.
And joining us is the artist and comedian behind that show, Sam Kissajukian. Sam, this is incredible because in 2021, during the pandemic, you somehow created 300 paintings in a matter of months. What inspired this?
Well, I was a stand-up comedian for 10 years, and then just as the pandemic was ending, they said we could all come outside, and I was fed up with comedy. I quit. And I didn't want to move in another share house, so I rented a cake factory, and
what?
A cake factory, like a Willy Wonka cake factory. Big concrete bunker, no windows, and I thought I'm going to stay in here to figure out what to do next. And just to pass the time, I started painting, and then I just kept painting, and then I have bipolar, and I had a 6-month manic episode, and so I ended up staying in there for 6 months and unknowingly documented my mental states by painting every day. And so now that I've come out and been diagnosed, I've kind of put the show together where I take people through, each of the images and what I was thinking at the time, and then reflecting back.
What are some of the images then? What are they?
They're paintings, large paintings. Yeah, so I was painting my dreams, so I was lucid dreaming.
That's what they were.
Yeah, I was flipping my sleep cycle, so I'd go to bed at midnight, then 2 days later I'd go to bed at midday, and it kind of made my mind so lucid that I was able to paint that.
Wow, did it help? Was it therapeutic for you then?
I mean, it was probably a double-edged sword in that doing that caused the manic episode, and
oh my gosh.
I think, I'm very grateful I went through it because I didn't know, I would be an artist, and I'm so grateful that I can do it now and have this show where, people enjoy it.
Yeah.
2 questions for you. One, were you always a painter, and what was it like now to link that experience to your art that you created?
I had no interest in art. I didn't go to art school. I'd never picked up a paintbrush. And I think it was something about changing mediums. I've just been verbal for so long that it was nice to have something that I could make away from an audience where I almost become the audience and the artwork is the performer. So I created like a discourse with myself.
Was it surprising to you and how talented you actually are?
What? I mean, I didn't know that I could paint. I'm very grateful other people think that I can. I think I just don't. I think failing at stand-up for 10 years just made me stop caring. So I just don't care about good or bad,
Tell us about the show then and how you incorporate it all together.
Okay, well, originally people go, how did you come up with this idea? It was literally after I got diagnosed, my memory was so bad from the experience, and I probably experienced some kind of brain damage, and I got asked to perform again. I hadn't performed in a year, and I just decided, why don't I just put up the paintings on a projector, and I can invite all the people that had to deal with me when I was manic, and I'll take them through and explain what happened, because people don't usually understand what a manic episode looks like, and so it kind of, I aim to make give people that kind of empathy that have friends that might have gone through it, and I think a lot of people that have experienced mental illness really love it because they feel seen. Aww. And then it's a 90-minute show. I think my goals are just to try and make it as funny as possible, because I feel like when you talk about mental health, it's important not to feel people kind of put their guard up if they feel they're being lectured at,
or that they're alone.
Yeah, that are alone, and I think there are some really positive aspects to this level of thinking. Like a lot of people with mental health, troubles can be really creative. And so I just like to celebrate that.
It's mentioned off the top, sold out shows overseas and in New York. What's it like having that experience of people taking in the art that you created and the comedy you said you failed at?
I mean, it's just a blessing. I honestly, if people didn't ask me to do the show, I was only going to do it once when I first invited these people, and I've just kept being asked to do it more and more. So it's just built out of nowhere, and weirdly, I feel like I've kind of come back to comedy. I've never done it in a theatre before. This is the first time I performed in a theatre, and in comedy shows, people heckle you. And I've noticed that in theatre, people fall asleep. I thought it was an insult. I thought it was a silent protest. But I came out once and there was someone asleep in the front row and they never woke up. I think it was their plan, It's cold outside. They thought, maybe I'll just pay to have a nap.
You made them feel that safe. Do you still paint?
I try and paint every day. So I did the show in November at the Vineyard Theatre, and when it got extended with my visa, I couldn't go back to Australia. So they gave me a studio, and I did maybe about 8 paintings, large ones, over the break.
Wow, that's awesome. But what do you feel though when you see that somebody is kind of like relating to you in the audience?
It's so strange that I thought the show was so specific to me, and it was a hard show for me because I'm like, I don't think anyone's going to relate to this. But it's weird when you become so specific that it's a universal thing. I think a lot of people kind of approach art as like a final object, and I think the creative process and the flawed thinking that can go into that's a much more human experience, and that's really what the show highlights, is the process behind making things. And so I feel the show is I like to think it's like authentic. I feel like the people I connect with after the show, I stick around for 45 minutes and chat with people who have come in and answer any questions. And I think the main thing is it just feels like a human experience, like on both ends.
Love that. And we're glad that you came in.
Oh, thank you.
It's so nice to meet you. And best of luck with the rest of the show.
I really appreciate that.
And you can see 300 Paintings. It's playing right now at the Vineyard Theatre in Union Square through February 23rd. So tickets are still available at vineyardtheatre.org. Thanks again.
Very cool.
Thank you.